Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let me ask you a question. Do you sometimes struggle to come up with guitar parts that fit within the modern worship genre that can still make use of all of the awesome things that the electric guitar has on offer? You see, the problem is sometimes people play electric guitar in church, but the kind of voicings, the rhythms, and the just overall thinking behind the parts that they use doesn't get to really extract the full value that the electric guitar has to offer. Now today I want to show you a cool way to go ahead and use octaves to kind of break out of the boxes of your typical chord shapes so that you can freely play across the whole neck, number one, number two, and come up with really cool parts that serve the song, that also serves the congregation so that they can fully engage in worship, and therefore gives you an opportunity to feel like you are making a valuable contribution. Let me go ahead and play a section of what I'm going to show you, and then afterwards I'll go ahead and show you the exact techniques as well as the theory behind using octaves to break out of the typical chord boxes. Here we go. Alright, so what you've just heard there was basically making use of octaves in different parts of the guitar neck, using different techniques, but all of this is still focused on the progression. Now the progression that we are playing over here is a 6-4-1-5 progression in the key of C, meaning the chords are A minor, F, C, G. That is a fairly well-known progression in worship. Now, most people are going to do one of two things. When they see A minor, they're going to play A minor, they're going to play F, they're going to play C, and they're going to play G. Maybe they're going to go A minor, F, C, G. I wouldn't really advise on using the full bar chords like this because those voicings are not really going to cut through the mix, and also it kind of locks you into a position when you play a full shape like that. What's better is when you kind of use alternative voicings to combine both harmony, meaning you are playing the chords that are written, but it's got a bit of a melodic interest to it that you can go ahead and add to the guitar part. So then the next thing that you want to do is actually use octaves. Now most people, when they say, okay, great, instead of playing open chords or instead of playing bar chords, I'm going to play octaves. So for A minor, they might play A minor here, which is just A, then F, then C, and then G. But that's kind of boring because you are literally just jumping. Your jumps are too far from each other. So you go from A to F to C to G. So it's still these big jumps, which is not really elegant melodic parts that you can put together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly play. I think I've got 10 variations here that I can do when it comes to octaves. First one, I'm going to play simple octaves, just following the chords like most guitar players that don't know better would do. That's not going to be you by the end of this video. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing the octaves in the low area, the middle area, the higher area, and then I'm going to also connect low to middle, middle to high, high to an octave higher there. So that sounds like a lot, but let me just show you all the different approaches that you have when it comes to playing octaves, and then afterwards I'll show you where the thinking comes from, the theory behind it, and then some cool techniques that you can go ahead and use to put this to use in your own playing. Here we go. Right, so if I counted correctly there were 10 different approaches that I had. Now, this is a teaching moment, so of course I'm not trying to compose something for a specific song. I just wanted to show you your options. So instead of just playing A, F, C, and G, you actually now have 10 different ways in which you can use octaves purely just from a position on the guitar neck. And I'm sure you would agree that having 10 different options that you can combine in different ways is far more exciting than just playing the chords. Now, why do I choose octaves like this? Well, when I do octaves like this, I still get to support the harmony. The guitar really shines with the right voicings and the right rhythmic attack when you play it, because then it really adds a level of energy to the song, and it also provides that foundation from the chords. But you lose that ability to add all of that energy and that kind of snappy vibe to your playing when you just play the open chords. Nothing wrong with them, but your approach needs to be different. You can't use the open chords with a rhythmic approach like this. And that's the first thing I want to mention to you is most acoustic guitar players, they are used to grabbing a chord, strumming a chord, grab a chord, strum a chord, grab a chord, strum a chord. That doesn't really work exactly like this in electric guitar, so you need to kind of change your approach, which is why I am changing my voicings to these 2-note octave shapes. And if you listen to this, you can hear there's an element of power and drive to it. Obviously, due to my tone, I'm using an overdriven tone. There's an element of melodic contour to it. As I'm playing up and down, it produces some melody. And then I still have, I can really dig into my strings because I'm only playing 2 notes, and I can go up and down the guitar neck. So that's the idea. Don't just grab a chord and strum a chord. Be more selective and intentional with your voicings. And for this lesson, we are using octaves. Now, when we have 4 chords, A minor, F, C, G, how do you know what octaves to play? Because in my first example, I showed A minor, F, C, and G. And that's kind of jumping up and down a little bit too much. It's not cohesive. It doesn't sound like the parts belong to each other. I'm going to show you exactly what I did in the other 9 approaches. So first things first is that we need to know that if I'm playing A minor like this, there's only 3 notes that are being played. A, C, E. A, E. So the 3 notes that make up A minor is A, C, E, A, C, E, A, C, E, A. That makes up A minor. So you need to know the triad notes. In this case, it's A, C, E. When I go to F, if I play F like this, again, it's only 3 notes. It's F, A, C, 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 F, A, C. F, A, and C together makes up F. So now, instead of playing F, A, and C in some combination like this, I can play F, A, C. Alright, then when we played C, the 3 notes were C, E, G, C, E. Because C, E, G, C, E, G, C, E, G, those are my triad notes for the key of C. So therefore I can play C, E, G. And then lastly I've got G, like this. If you play an open chord, there's only 3 notes, G, B, D, G, B, G. So G, B, D, G, B, D, G, B, D. That's your triad for G. So I'm rambling through this because hopefully you kind of know your triads already. If you don't, I'll link to a video that explains it. But now I know when I play A, I can either play A, C, or E. A, C, or E. When I play F, I can play F, A, C, F, A, C. When I play C, I can play C, E, G, C, E, G, and B, B, D, G, B, D, G for the G chord. I can use any one of those 3 notes. It's kind of like just you have 3 ways to decide on what you want to play over a chord. Now, when I'm going to put some delay on, and if I wanted to say, okay, great, I'm going to play a C note over the A minor. And over F, I'm going to play the same C note. Over C, I'm going to play the same C note. and then over G, I'm going to play a B note. Can you see how cool that is? I'm playing the chord changes, but I'm only changing my chord once. Why does that work? Because A minor has a C in it, F has a C in it, and then C obviously has a C in it, and then for G, I'm going to go down to B. So that's the first thing that Octaves does. It gives you this opportunity to grab a note and actually leave that note in the same position as long as it fits over the chord. I'm going to play that just at one section for you now over the same chord. So then you can actually hear how it's going to sound over A, F, C, and G. Let's check it out. Alright, so what's cool about that is the whole band, they're playing the progression, the bass player is, playing the root notes and following the chords, but as a guitarist, you are playing the chords without changing the chords. Alright, so that's what's cool about this particular position for that particular progression. Now, next up, if I want to play A minor, I can play an E. If I want to play F, I can just go up one fret higher, and I get F. If I go to C, I go one fret down again for an E, because the E note is in C. And then for G, I go down from E to D. So now, for my chords, A minor, F, C, and G, I'm playing A minor, I'm playing an E, F, I'm playing an F, C, I'm playing an E, and G, I'm playing a D. So now instead of playing C, 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 B, like we had for the previous one, I'm playing E, F, E, D as octaves, even though those are still the same chords from the progression. Let me play that for you now. Alright, so that was the second way where I start on the E note. Now, I can also go up one more because remember in A minor, I've got C, E, and A. So I can now actually start playing it over here. So for A minor, I'm going to play an A octave. For F, I'm going to stay on the A octave because A is an F. For C, I'm going to play G octave. And then for G, I'm going to play a G octave. Can you see how the same chord, I'm playing the same note for two of the chords. Let's play that again now with the track. And you can see what that sounds like. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the low position, the middle position, and the high position after I demo the 1 here on the 12th fret. Then you can actually see my three different positions that I have on offer when it comes to playing A minor, F, C, G using octaves. Alright, so hopefully that gives you some ideas. Now, we won't go too much further into all the other versions, but all I did there basically was instead of playing just in the low position or the middle position or the high position, I can join them together. I can go from low to middle for every chord. So for A minor, I'll do that. For F, I'll do that. For C, I'll do that. And then for G, I'll do that. Why does it work? Because for A minor, I can play C, E, which is that. And then for F, I can play C, F, which is C, F. And then for C, I'm going to play C, E again. And then for G, I'm going to play B and D. That's one way to do it. Or I can go from A minor, I can go from E to A, which is there, it's E to A. And then for F, F to A. For C, E to G. And then for G, D to G. Can you see how you can join these together? Or you can even add some passing tones. What that means is I'm going from A to C, like A to C, but I'm joining it with a note in between. What I'm going to do is I'll quickly jam doing a couple of things for you, but all you have to know, I'm playing octaves. String muting is very important. There's a link in the description if you want to learn more about string muting. But I'm either going to play A, C, or E over A minor. I'm going to either play F, A, or C over F, C, E, or G over C, and then G, B, or D over G. But I'm going to use it with octaves. I'm going to combine things together. I'm going to slide into notes to give it a lyrical quality, work on my phrasing. And then I'm also going to join the notes together. When I join, say, A to C, I'm going to use the B note as a passing tone to create some melodic interest. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to jam with these octaves and show you what I might do from a guitar playing perspective as it relates to just having different options at my disposal as opposed to getting stuck playing open chords or bar chords. Now, open chords and bar chords can totally work, but they won't work for this kind of strummy, rhythmic, melodic kind of playing. If you're going to play open chords or bar chords, you're going to need to change your right hand. So let me go ahead and demo this for you as we play out. Alright, so there we go. That was a brief look into how you can use octaves to kind of break out of the box instead of playing open chords or bar chords. Again, like I said, nothing wrong with those. You can make up some really cool guitar parts either using bar chords or open chords. But in modern worship, the kind of style that I just played there really works well for specific songs because it brings with it a different energetic signature as it relates to how it combines the rhythmic playing, still following the chords, but also having some melodic components in your parts, because then you've got rhythm, you've got harmony, and you've got melody, which are the three essential elements of music, which is what you need when it comes to composing guitar parts like this. So really hope you enjoyed that lesson. You need to have your string muting dialed in when you work on techniques like this. And we've got a detailed video right here that will talk about string muting. And if you want to look at how I'm getting this particular tone, we've got another video down there that will show you how to dial in this tone and what the different elements are that make up the sound you've been hearing in this video. All right, guys, have fun, and I'll see you in either one of those two videos.